for high GC news. Mema Ubibia Akwaba. I had the latest hot Aqua Aremeyaw Bravo. I don't see subscribe to channel idea. But Modia say over subscribe. The way I say over click a year the subscribe button. Now we barely notification. We answer video for Frubia be upload no. When the first person what's ebe can a year sa video. After we are now like video to give us a thumbs up. Now fe share my for so that when you be here now who ends somewhere so ewo gara be mano. Afi yebura ye ensemwa abeto yepono so yinkuti ASR report sankomo ya ba beto dwa mama interior koso
But I prefer me to say that all of a sudden the NDC has woken up to realize that it is very easy to remove a chief justice. That it is so easy and careless to remove the chief justice.
That we'll discuss as a second topic.
Going forward, the NDC is going to make it extremely difficult to remove a chief justice.
Solo, Dr. Zato is making a cogent argument from his perspective that there seem to be laced in these activities of, so to speak, answer rates appear before Yoko vengeance. The modus operandi depicting what he says seems to be a wrong that was undertaken by the NPP government that was led by Nana Dankwa Akufo Addo, as well as Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. As a result, Solo, it shouldn't be repeated by John Dramani Mahama, Nana Genopoku Ajiman, their government, in the way they want to reset the economy or the judicial system or the security system, so to speak. What's your own response to that?
Well, let me greet you first of all and say that I'm highly disappointed in Dr. Zato this morning.
I don't understand. Dr. Zato is there. So you guys are friends.
And we are close. You will remain my friend till I cannot come. But I'm very disappointed. You know why? Because just November or so, and I'm very happy he started on the note that he was greeting his students.
I'm taking notes. So he said November?
November, meaning he's a member of UTAG. Is that not the case? UTAG only last year, somewhere in November, embarked on a strike, nationwide strike. What was your strike about? It was about Galamsey. And I don't remember the last time Dr. Zato came here and said he was no more a member of UTAG. You remember recently his banter with Professor Jambo on the same set. So as we speak, he's still a member of...
What was Galamsey and the issues of what to do with Wontumi?
Wontumi is being charged for polluting our water bodies. Wontumi is being charged for mining without license permit. Wontumi is being charged for entering forest and mining. These are the issues that we must not lose track of.
We're to Exim Bank as well.
Exim Bank is another matter, but let's deal with that. He has been said that one is even crazy. When you hear it, those that went in the evening would rather chase Wontumi. Those that went to the Yoko office yesterday, if they hear about the Exim matter, they would rather change.
Well, how much did he collect from them? That should result in
almost $12 million. $12 million, we are told, was given to Wontumi.
But we're told he's a businessman.
Yes, I don't have a problem with going back. If you go for a facility and the bank says you did not use it for the purpose for which you came for it, then that is another matter. But here I am even restricting myself to the environmental degradation, pollution of water bodies for which UTAG embarked on a nationwide strike, for which Dr. Zato agreed. So if someone is being accused for destroying the environment, for which reason you went on a demonstration and today you have a problem with the government that is making the effort to arrest the perpetrator and prosecute him, and you come and say that it's political games, that I have a problem.
So I don't understand.
Then I believe that given the opportunity, he must revise his stance on this matter.
Dr. Zato?
Dr. Zato must revise his stance on it. Because clearly, the positions your own organization took yesterday, which you supported, you are disagreeing with them this morning.
So are you saying that his position now and double standards?
Double standard will not be entertained on this platform. No. Zato will not be allowed to be going on that tangent. Because if for anything at all, I know him to be wishing well for this country. People that have engaged, look, as we sit here, we don't know whether we will even last in the next 10 years. You know why? Because the water bodies that have been polluted, we understand cancer takes 20 years to manifest. So the number of people that will be having cancer, the result of which will be attributed to Wontumi must be the reason why all well-meaning Ghanaians must be interested in this matter, and for that matter must not be politicized. Who is Wontumi that we shouldn't be dealing with? Who is he?
He's a chairman of the NPP.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Wontumi.
A strong businessman.
I was in Prepper College with Wontumi, and I'm very surprised that yesterday he feigned sickness. It is becoming one too many.
No, but he's sick.
This is modus operandi. The last time he was invited to Manshia Palace, you know he feigned the same sickness.
What do you mean by he fainted?
Oh, he wasn't sick. He went and got some Photoshop people to snap a picture where he was lying on the bed and threw it into the system that he was sick. Only yesterday, he was on radio speaking loudly on top of his voice. Ghana for Musorio, Ghana for Musorio. Didn't you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
This
what
man,
has that got to do
this man drove by himself to the headquarters of Yoko. No. What's the name? CID. And was driving back. All of a sudden, arrested Yoko. This man is sick. And Yoko too must be very serious.
You mean Wontumi can't get sick?
How can he be sick all of a sudden? The governor?
Governor of where?
You are not sick. Wontumi, whatever you are, and again, any medical doctor who is saying this morning, Wontumi is sick, I want to see the report. And Yoko too, they must treat the people of this country with respect. That all of a sudden, because I listened to the lawyer carefully, Apia Kubi.
Are you saying the lawyer is lying? Because the lawyer says that Wontumi, Chairman Wontumi, is unwell.
I listened.
He's sick.
I look at the chronology of events. I listened to the lawyer on the different network, telling everyone that yes, Wontumi, they applied for bail at Yoko yesterday night, and Wontumi was granted the bail, but the bail conditions, there was no way Wontumi could have met it in the evening. So what should I do? Let me feign that I'm sick. If I'm sick, where would you take me to? Is it a hospital? He will go to a first-class hospital, go and lie there and rest under air condition. Hasn't he beaten the system? And when he was asked, the lawyer was asked, so when do you hope he will reappear at Yoko? He said that one, unless the doctor declares that he's fit. When is that particular doctor going to declare that Wontumi is fit?
So,
he could be there for the next 5 years.
Are you saying these are gimmicks?
Gimmicks, I'm telling you, I know him very well. We used to call him Benghazi. His nickname was never Wontumi. The original name was Benghazi. You know those days, Benghazi in Libya. He was that type. Everything was struggle.
Where? In Prempeh
College was called Benghazi. Then later he metamorphosed into Wontumi. The meaning of Wontumi is you can't. We can't arrest you. You have been arrested. So you are sick. It's a coward.
So boy. Wait. Wait. Camera no project mami. Wait, when your friend, that's right. When your friend goat, so boy. When your friend goat, when your friend goat, when you tesoro, sikakoko, etinya krata noa, ya wono, and the mat Ghana, and Jessica. What you say? When your friend goat. What you say? And I say solid money. Solid money. Solid money. What you say? Says can I no? And I liquid. Yeah. What you say? I liquid. Mami fan to say na. What me hu? Mami fan to say no. What me hu? Ebisa me debi kan ho ama na. Sir. I me debi kan ho ama. Ama what me hu? Wait. When your friend says solid, are you solid? Sikakoko. Are you sikakoko? Solid money. Number one. Solid. What I say, mami for being careful. Hey, me do be careful. What I say, solid money. When we talk about money, it's not a bag go. Bags the candy hole. Adia Magana. It's a possible need bag Ghana no. Who no say higher friend has sika and poano. What I say, I know see a friend has gold coast. What you say? Solid money. Mami Fabio Munchro. What you say? Solid. What you say? Solid money. Solid. What you solid money? Mami Fabio Munchro. Solid. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What you say? And the casa Wontumi was sika. And your bango. And your gold. And the same gold here I can't watch me. What it? Mami Fabio Munchro. Mami Fabio Munchro. What it? Solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money. Oh, and that's Mami Fabio Crasancho. Mami Fabio Musancho.
He's a coward. You see, We must be serious as a country if we want to develop. The issue of Galamsey, Professor Sampede did some research. And Professor Sampede is the head of KNUST Department of Pathology. He cried, knowing what he knows, that as a result of the effects of Galamsey, women were having even their menstrual cycle shortened. They were giving birth to kids with 3 eyes, 4 eyes, and the perpetrator, he said, we must trivialize this matter. It cannot be. It cannot be. Look, he must be made to face the laws of the land, irrespective of his status. And I also disagree that politicians are the highest risk in terms of all these. If you are afraid to do the right thing, then you have no business being closer to politics. If you are afraid that you take the right decisions for the people of this country, so that posterity will judge you right, then you have no business being closer to politics. So the laws must work. This was a gentleman that took a lot of road contracts in the Ashanti region. Carbon Road, Mosiasi Road, Manson Kwanta Road, Lake Road. Go and see whether he did it.
Carbon Road.
You have taken all these contracts. You disrespected everyone in the Ashanti region. You at a point said he had his own kingdom. In spite of the fact that there is a kingdom, he said he had a kingdom. He said he was the governor in the Ashanti region.
Well, he's a powerful chairman.
How could he have been powerful when small Yoko invites you and you face sickness?
So that is why Dr. Zato says that it's because of the persona, the stature, and then also the revenge idea that he says is embedded in the mind and the psychology of the NDC that is just being exhibited.
What is revenge?
And not anything justiciable.
Let me tell you, whether or not President John Mahama will be remembered, will be how he deals with all those that took part in Galamsey and continues to dabble themselves in Galamsey. Galamsey was the only reason why the Catholic diocese in Accra embarked on a prayer demonstration. Remember that matter? So, whether or not the NDC will be taken serious, how well they deal with the issues of Galamsey. They shouldn't play with it.
But he's not the only one who is perpetuating whatever it is. But besides, he said he has a current mining license,
having a
concession.
That is another weak argument. Anytime I hear him say that, I say, where is this guy coming from? You could be given a concession of about 10 acres. If you go on the field and be doing 12 acres, it's not illegal mining. The extra 2 acres amounts to illegal mining. If you are given a concession not to mine in the Tano Nimre forest, how many times were you not told by Rassos Asaredonko that you want to go to Onyampe, Nipa, the Tano, and the Tano Nimre forest, Wontumi have destroyed all these areas? To the extent that you remember the former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapong, and the Minerals Commission actually came out to issue a disclaimer that they had never given Wontumi permit to enter into the Tano Nimre forest. Right there, if we had a serious president, a president that cared for the people of this country, Wontumi would have been arrested. But guess what? What did the president do? He rather went to Kofodia to defend Wontumi. That Wontumi was not involved. That was when I began reading meanings into the co-relationship between what Alistair Mataya said, that he, together with President Akufo Addo, were shipping $40 million to $60 million worth of gold outside this country, and the activities of Wontumi. Are you connecting the dots? That here was someone who has been accused of doing illegal mining. You understand? And making gold out of it. And that our curiosity was also assuaded by the fact that he himself went on radio, live TV, and showed the people of this country that, yes, indeed, he had the gold. The president that went to defend him, we are told by Alistair Mataya, that young man, that the president shipped gold out of this country every about $40 to $60 million. Now, you are telling me that I should be trusting that president? No. So Wontumi has to answer questions, and those that continues to follow. And I'm very happy I saw the numbers. These were about 70 NPP supporters. 70, and I can tell you that
the NPP, you've been a former member.
Yes.
If they want to mass up 1 million people, they can.
Let me tell you, people are becoming wiser by the day. I'm on a lot of platforms that they are even insulting those that went there. People are becoming wiser. What they are saying is that I should leave my wife and children and come and follow Wontumi, who never helped me. So they are not. Those that you see there granting interviews, all that they are doing is that they want positions in the party. If you see someone like Titus Glover speak, he wants to be the organizer. If you see Kodwia there, he wants to be maintained as the general secretary. If you see Salam Mustafa, he still wants to be the youth organizer.
But even Titus Glover was saying, apart from multimedia, TV3 and co, we should also be...
But he called all of you dumb. Titus Glover called media houses dumb. Meanwhile, he was being interviewed by a media person. Can you imagine?
I don't understand.
And he said all media houses are dumb. Here was Titus Glover just a year ago castigating his own party supporters or party fanatics that they were the ones doing Galamsey, but that was bringing shame to the party. Yes, you have a government that comes to power trying to, as it were, deal with the matter. Then you have the same Titus Glover go to Iyoko and say that he disagrees. How can you be so double standard a person? When such people, I don't take them serious. They are the reason why politics is becoming so cheap in this country, that people are losing interest in politics in this country. But I want to assure John Mahama and his administration that if you want to be remembered, one of the issues you must tackle and tackle well is to be able to reduce the turbidity levels of our water bodies from the 14,000 to a minimum of say 10. And you can only do that by prosecuting people like Wontumi. This is the first time they are catching a big fish. From there, he must begin to go identify the Swamina Win MP, who has been banished by his people, the Amankwada MP in Memphis Central, who was speaking to a military man on live TV. All these people must be brought to book because this country does not belong to them. The future of this country depends on the unborn generation, and they must be given a sound environment and not these greedy people who want to destroy this country because they want money.
Dr. Computer, revenge or no revenge? That's the accusation now. You're on a spree. Dr. Zato says that you don't have to go on that tangent. Just because people are politically exposed, they talk big, nationally exposed, they have a lot of following.
Roland, if we were to go on vengeance, I'm sure by now someone would have been filled up. The Sawan prison by now would have packed a lot of people in there. Governance is not about vengeance. I'm saying that thankfully we have a father figure who is the president. He wants the law to work. That's why when we talk of reset, is to reset our institution and reset our mindsets. That somebody who has raped the state, destroy your forest cover, and displaying profligacy, live television, is being investigated, and you, the poor, who suffered under it, rather than being called to come and demonstrate in the night for him. We have to reset our mind. That is the reset agenda we are talking of. To know that, look, your future has been destroyed by this same very person, and you are there jumping and hooting around the place. You don't even know what it meant. And so we are not going on vengeance target or targeting any political opponent. No, far from it. The law must work. That is what we must look. We will not hide behind any political clout and think that the law should not work. We won't do that. In fact, the government will do its work. We will not be distracted. I mean, this security agency, I will continue to say, we have the finest, the best security experts in this country. Most of them, you go to the police service, you go to national security, the military are there. Experts. They have done the work over the years. All these people who are in there, I'm saying John Dramani Mahama has not recruited any new person into the security. They are playing from the same hymn book. The way they were trained to handle issues of this matter is the same thing they are doing.
Dr. Zato says that this is just a revenge spree because the actions that were undertaken, well,
I'm saying that's why I said
coming from you was bad and so should not be replicated.
That's why I'm saying that if we were to go on revenge, I'm sure Dr. Zato will not sit and be talking this way. If we're going to use Akufo Addo Asimpa hymn book and open it, chapter 1, this is what Akufo Addo doing, so we're also going to do that. But now people will not be sleeping in their house. They won't sleep at all.
Because?
Because the thing they were doing, in fact, they was like Nebuchadnezzar and his group. I'm telling you, I just gave an example. How many of your media men here could even come near the Flagstaff house? To think of even Zato and his group, I'm happy you were asking, my good friend asking, this thing, the University Teachers Association, about this Galamsey matter and all this. What didn't they tell them? What didn't they tell them? His group. And you see, so this kind of thing happening in this country. When we act, the security is doing their work. And you think you can use political clout. Some of them, they just want to, like Solomon is saying, to be relevant, they want to contest political positions. There are people who are mad at them for having given them 30%.
You can't make those conclusions, Dr. Computer. We have the leadership of the NPP. There's even the third national vice chair, the one who blew the mic away of the company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a leader of the party.
All of them, they brought them 38%. So they want to make sure that Zato and Co would still have confidence in them. And therefore, they are coming to do this kind of thing. Everything they jump into the fray. They will jump into the fray and be talking and talking and talking. Sometimes they don't even understand what they are talking about. The man has a baggage, and he has to be offloaded with the baggage that he's carrying. You are going in thinking that you can stampede the security service or state over this. We are not going to be stampeded. The law must work. We must allow the security. Look, we are in government. That is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has warned all his appointees. And he came out with a code of conduct. We are all reading the code of conduct and behaving same. That is why for 5 months we've not seen any scandal in his government. Because the government is very mindful that tomorrow we are not going to continue to be in power till that kingdom come. Even in 30 years, if we are in power and leave, another group will come and one day they will want to find out something that you have done. For 5 months, you have to give credit to this government, Zato, and your group. Have you seen any one scandal? Compare that one to 1 month in Nana Akufo Addo government. Several scandals, uncountable scandals that rocked the country we have never seen in 2017.
Because he says that you're a politically exposed person as
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
an appointee of a government that is in power. And one day, should you go to opposition, if the same national security modus operandi is meted out to you, would you be happy? It's a question
that is why we are saying reset agenda. The president warned us, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The resources given to you is for the good people of Ghana. Make sure that the people enjoy their fruit of labor. Use the resources in their interest. And make sure that don't put up a lifestyle that will be inimical to the growth of this country. That's why he came out with the code of conduct. And I'm saying that because of what he said, from January that he was sworn in up to now, 5 months down the lane, no scandal whatsoever in any institution. You won't get it. Because everybody is very careful and listening to the president and make sure that you don't do anything inimical. These people were careless. Because the president was the one who was showing them how to go about it. Nana Akufo Addo. So they were misbehaving and he was protecting them. It's a fact. Is it not the president who stood and said Akunta mining was not involved in illegal mining? Before even investigation could start. He dismissed it. You remember the sanitation minister thing? The love letter he wrote to that lady when the matter came out. The president wrote a letter to the sanitation minister when the woman said she was resigning, declaring that she was clean and everything was fine. She knows that she has not committed anything before investigation started. Is the lady not standing investigation now? So these are the things we are talking about. I said he made a very beautiful analogy and I was so happy with it.
Please wrap up for me.
I'm wrapping up and I'm telling you that, you see how animals are.
Which animals?
Animals in the animal kingdom. Everybody knows that. They call the lion the king. Is that not it? But the lion also fear elephant. They are elephants. When the elephants come in, the lion move away. But there's a small thing, one small ant, that can bring down a whole elephant. Is that not true? So when he was making the analogy, you forgot that a nanny goat look at the mother mouth when it's taking grass. That's how they are falling into. NPP, they have looked into the mouth of Nana Akufo Addo, and that has caused them all this mess. They didn't know that the man will leave power one day. When he was there protecting them, and they were misbehaving, the books, you can't protect the books, because we are documenting everything. And we'll come after them.
Dr. Zato, he says irrespective of anything, this is not revenge.
Thank you. I just want to go
just the law being used.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, launched a code of conduct. He said a 20,000 limit on receiving gifts, on receiving any distance. We were talking about scandal. The president is gallivanting in a private jet.
Which private jet?
The president of Ghana.
Which private jet?
A private jet. He's gallivanting in a private jet. How much did it cost to gallivant in Africa? Was it a gift?
Zato.
The private jet was it a gift?
Which private jet?
What is the value? A private jet, please. A private jet.
You mean his brother's jet?
Is it for his brother?
No, I've seen. So
he's gallivanting. He's gallivanting on the gift given to him by his brother. His own code of conduct said that you cannot receive a gift of more than 20,000. How much does it cost to power a private jet from here around? Is that a gift? Did he declare it? How much does it cost? You're talking about a scandal. That's a scandal. His Excellency, the Vice President of Ghana, was flown into this country in a private jet. How much did it cost the taxpayer? about there are ministers of state right now who promise that if that happened, they will resign. They've not resigned. You're talking about scandal. How much did it cost the taxpayer? So you're talking about scandal. The president is running around in a scandalous way, traveling around. Because that is a gift. That is a gift. Because if it's a personal gift, even if it's for his own brother, even if it's for his own wife, it's a scandal. How much does it cost? How much does it cost? So he is the number one. Remember, I sat here and I said the president is the number one person breaching his own code of conduct. And he's doing with so much impunity. Nobody, not Ghana Integrity Initiative, no anti-corruption has come and say, how come somebody has just given you his private jet to be running around for free? That's a scandal that's happening. You talked about this. I'm going to come and say, look, what is happening to Wontumi is a naked and shambolic attempt to cover up the government's woeful and inefficiency.
You say it's what? Naked?
Naked and shambolic attempt by the government
shambolic.
To hide their woeful, pathetic inefficiencies in the Galamsey fight. The Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference was in the Jubilee House. They asked one thing of the president, one thing. Please, Mr. President, we beg you, declare a state of the emergency. The president has not done that. The anti-coalition people, if you talk to anyone, nobody in the anti-Galamsey goal can tell you that we are winning this fight. Absolutely nobody. There are simple, low-hanging fruits you can do. This morning, the president can declare a state of he will do it. I've heard what the parliament is supposed to do. Nothing in the itinerary given so far says that they are going to expunge or they are going to remove the bill that is mining there. So, all of a sudden, let's go for Wontumi. I don't know Wontumi. I've never met Wontumi. I don't think he knows me. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. The former president came out and said that every single government appointee must stay and face justice. If Wontumi is facing justice, that is his problem. It's not my problem. I'm not sitting here to do it, but I'm making a point. If you want to talk about Galamsey, talk about Galamsey. Where is the state of emergency? Where is the bill to expunge or remove the lining? Where are they? These are the things that every single person believes will have a meaningful impact. These are the things. Secondly, there are credible reports. Some MPs in Parliament have actually been referred to be investigated for Galamsey. Is that not so? Those MPs, what is happening to them? The point I'm making is that please don't hide around Galamsey to now say this. No. The arrest of Wontumi and harassment is just you acknowledging that no, you are trying to throw a big fish so that we can be dealing with it. And once we are doing that, actually, the chairman of the coalition, CSO coalition on Galamsey actually came out to say that NDC criminals have taken over from NPP criminals in the Galamsey fight. You've thrown us a big fish, Wontumi, to mask and cover up the activities of this of the so-called NDC big fish in the Galamsey fight by I said, and that is what is happening here. So please, if you think that this is an attempt to fight Galamsey, you are wrong. This is an attempt to use the coercive powers of the state to intimidate and harass your political opponents. It will not help. My point is that, Mr. President, let's assume that you can run and also chew gum at the same time. Why don't you, whilst doing this, why doesn't the president say, as I am prosecuting Wontumi, and as I said, if Wontumi has broken the law, you should prosecute the full point of the law. That's why you didn't see me there protesting or demonstrating. I had better things to do. If Wontumi has actually broken the law, let him do that. I don't care. But what I care is that, Mr. President, whilst you are doing this, whilst you are prosecuting Wontumi, can you also declare a state of emergency in the water bodies? Please, can you do that? And this is something I think my brother Solomon will support me, right? Yes. You will support me if the president declares a state of emergency there, right? Yes. Secondly, Mr. President, can you put on is it emergency the bill to remove the LI? Can you do that? Because you can run and talk at the same time, you can chew gum and talk at the same time. You do not only focus on harassing, intimidating your political opponents to mask those attempts. That's the point I'm saying. That is narrow, and that is not how you do these things. Show that you are being fair. Show that you are a father of the country. Show that you are neutral. Show that you are independent. Show that you can be fair to this country. Because, after all, you rode onto power on the background of Father for All. You rode back into power of Arrést.
Dr. Zato, in what way should, I'm rephrasing because it's again stemming from your response. In what way do you think that arrests to answer for writs need to be made to be fair and what? Balance. Is that what you use or what?
Chairman Wontumi has been arrested. He's undergoing the judicial processes. I wish him all the best. As I said, I don't know him. and I know that he can afford some of the best lawyers in this country to defend his rights there. So that is good. All that should go ahead. I have absolutely no problem with that. If the state thinks that, and now the state thinks that he's committed a crime, the state is prosecuting. All I'm saying is that this shouldn't be used as an opportunity to match the woeful and pathetic failure the Galamsey fight.
I'm asking you, in what way should it be done so that you will notice that it should be contrary to what you are witnessing?
It's one of the things that when you see, you will know. I've not seen.
Okay. So you don't know the way you want it to be done?
If I see it, I will know it. I haven't seen it.
Okay. All right. So how do we put the icing on the cake on this issue? In relation to what you have made by way of your responses so far, that the president should make sure that he undertakes prosecution per the promises that he gave the Ghanaian voter or people.
The president must not listen to the few rabble-rousers. Wontumi is becoming relevant because he has set up radio stations. Can you imagine if every politician had a radio station or TV station and that person was arrested and the media house decided to blow it out? This country, would it be governable? He is cutting that attention because he has the means. Nobody must take the eye off the ball in this administration. The ball is that Chairman Wontumi, per his own government, according to the Lands and Natural Resource Minister, did an illegality. By entering into the Tano Nimre forest, that was Galamsey. That was an illegality. That has to be dealt with according to the law. If he says, and I keep hearing him say that I have my documents, this is a fine opportunity for you to go through the process, go to court, and then vindicate yourself and put everyone to shame. But this business of you are called and you get political actors go rampage, burning things, beating journalists, throwing microphones away, and that reminds me of that person you mentioned the name. What's the name? Osman Masaudu, the second vice chairperson of the New Patriotic Party. If he has a family, he has to be advised. He's becoming a nuisance to the country. Any least opportunity, he tries to court hatred, particularly for this your network TV3. It is not fair. When especially the New Patriotic Party's own, what do you call it, constitution, paragraph 19, under the functions of the party, or the object of the party, is to promote media pluralism and freedom. You have such a clueless second vice chair who does not, I'm not sure he has even read the constitution to understand what it stands for. The least opportunity, he goes after TV3. It is not good. Now, back to the issue. The president, I'm sure, would have his men who are manning the various agencies, give them the free hands to prosecute this agenda. When this matter goes to court, we will plead with the justices not to, as it were, dilly-dally with the laws of the land. Because it is our existence that is at play. Whether or not we will live depends on how well that massive precedent is set against those that willfully or deliberately decided to pollute our water bodies. Wontumi cannot be, as it were, taken out of the equation for destroying our lands. And I am all for it. Now, a simple matter. That's why I always blame the NDC and NPP in all matters. We are talking about presidential jet. We're in this country where we even chartered a private jet for Addo Forson. Remember? Addo Forson was not even a vice president. Who was not a president.
You are raising this because of...
Yes, you see. So we have to be consistent. And during that time...
You mean that's double standard?
Double standards. You never complain. I am not for it. In fact, there has to be a full disclosure as to what is happening with our president, because he's our president. The last time he gave out his 6-month salary, I said, I do not support it. If you are a president that you are giving salary, you must use the salary. If you are not going to expend our salary, which money again are you going to use? I am not for those games. He has to take what is given to them. But you see, Zato and his people are not the rightful people to be raising these issues.
I don't understand.
Because when Addo Forson was in that private jet, when Akufo Addo was flying in what? Bathing on us. Sometimes someone uses such a word I don't use. The man was bathing on twice. He look as though he will be bathing on this. You defended the action. Only 5 months, 6 months down the lane, you are coming here to tell me that, oh, today what is happening is not good. We must be consistent with our politics. That is the only way we can train the minds of the youth that are coming up. That politics is not politics. That we lie our way into power or government, and when we come, we do what we complain of. That cannot shape this country. And it is the reason why a lot of youthful guys are entering into politics. They don't have any policy, they don't have any principle, they don't have any ideology. The only ideology they have is that they have been told that when they get into politics, within a few years, they will have houses in East Legon, Chado. They will be able to start monies and the bears in polytanks and so on and so forth. If you ask
what
them,
do you mean? Ideology.
I know ideology stealing. This is ideology stealing. They come to amass where they don't have any principle. If you do random sampling, go to all those youth that claims to be belonging to these political parties, ask them of their party's own ideology. They don't have it. They don't know why they even belong to that political party. It's all about money. It's all about money, how to steal from the state. And that is why you can have people go and follow Wontumi, someone that the state is charging for criminal offense. You are there saying that we must release a criminal. Then you must as well go to Nsawam and go and demonstrate that all the armed robbers there must be released. Because I've said the time with that number that the total net effect of all the criminals in Nsawam compares nowhere near what Wontumi is being accused of. If you pollute water bodies, do you and I know whether the polluted water bodies we have drank some? If I die tomorrow, my family will cry, but the cause of it would have been Wontumi. And you say I should eulogize him? I would not do that. I would never do that. So the state authorities must act, and I'm with them on this. These are some of the matters that you have to use Rambo style to arrest them, because this is against conscience, not flimsy ones. Anybody that has done something wrong against the state, if you can even fly into their rooms, fly there and go and catch them and discipline them.
So you are for the style?
This style is so lovely.
Dr. Is revenge style.
Which one is a revenge style?
The Rambo style.
People were arrested in Gertrude that you are talking about.
I have this one from Empress. Empress says that, please tell Solomon Owusu, I love him. Why? Tell him that
what's the name? Empress.
Empress. Empress says loves you.
Empress, you love me.
Lawyer Kakri Samoa.
You have a problem.
Lawyer Kakri Samoa, good morning. I have to visit you. You have not sent me the GPS. Now he says that I'm listening to the learned Dr. Zato. Obviously, he doesn't believe that action and reaction are equal and opposite. Why are you saying this? Action and reaction. You mean what happened yesterday elicits equal and opposite reaction? That's the meaning of what he said. Lawyer Kakri Samoa, good morning to you. More comments coming through. And I have this one from Ejay Boateng. Ejay Boateng says that Chema Wontumi may be a robust and then a firecracking politician, but it doesn't mean that he has to be treated this way. Yoko could have just invited him, and then he put it in quotes, kule, and nothing would have been happening today. But the government wants to use the old tactics of the Akufo Addo regime, also exhibited in times past by other regimes, to show that they are in power. It is just for the optics. Ken says, please let Dr. Zato understand that resetting Ghana is not only including the cedi. We're also making sure that retrieving monies that are wrongfully appropriated and for answering crimes that have been committed. Zilis Dwayne says that Solo is on fire.
You see, there's too much lawlessness in this country.
There's too much lawlessness?
I'm telling you, it's becoming and becoming. Seriously. The lawlessness in the country is just becoming unbearable. Thank God His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has put in motion this reset agenda to reset the country, not only the institution, but our mindsets. You see, we worship a lot of ills in this country. And people think that because of they are getting a lot of worship from these brainwash citizenry. They think that they are above the law. That is where we are. You see, we are descending down.
What has Wontumi done that for which that the narrative is coming from you that look, he's thinking that he's above the law?
I'm telling you, look, there's a lot of ills. Even his own party members wanted Wontumi arrested under NPP. His own party people. Do you see that Wontumi and this man, they are then presidential candidate, Kwabena Agyapong, Kennedy Agyapong. You see, they don't see eye to each other. They know each other very well in the party. The thing the gentleman was doing, they themselves were seriously against him. But who born dog at that time to talk about Wontumi?
Who born dog?
Yes. The whole president came out and was defending him. Nana Akufo Addo was there defending Wontumi. When the issue of Akunta mine issue came up, wasn't it the presidency, Flagstaff House, when they turned the whole place to King Nebuchadnezzar Palace at that time, and was behaving as if nobody could even remove them from government. Wontumi was at that time, everybody knew what he was doing to the forest cover in this country. This issue of Exim Bank, they knew of it. You see, this morning I just want to be charitable with them. You see, there's too much trouble in this country.
Charitable?
I'm telling you, this thing, the gentleman, the ills he has committed against this state, more are even coming.
But let the law deal with it.
That's why the law is dealing with it. Do you see that? Are we under a military regime? Is it not the law which is dealing with him? Writ of summons was issued against him. He was invited to come. When they went to his house and that, they went with warrants. They didn't go there with any justifiable this thing. Compare that one to what they did to Chikata and Kweku. Chikata was in church. Chachu Chikata, the learned lawyer, was in church. These people went there and arrested him in the church. They didn't even fear God. They went to the premises of church to arrest Chachu Chikata.
Dr. Computer, I don't understand. What's the issue
I'm saying that
Chachu Chikata and the arrest?
I am bringing this because these people went with warrants to speak to me on the issues that he's been alleged to come and answer. Okay, they pleaded and said he will present himself. That also, he brought himself. That doesn't mean that he should not be detained. If the law is looking for you and you present yourself, they will still pursue you with the case against you. Doesn't mean that when you present yourself, they should allow you to go. After he has gone through all this, there was another case, Yoko. Serious matter, financial crisis is just too much on that gentleman. This man was on TV boasting and showing gold and telling Ghanaians, pure money, this is pure, what and what, and was just misbehaving. As if the country was for him.
You mean what the scenario with Paul Adumocho in that interview?
I'm telling you, those things, it was life. And you have a whole president protecting this gentleman and saying that he committed no crime, and therefore, before even investigation could start, the president had already issued white paper, whitewashing everything about the gentleman's behavior.
But Rashid Tanko, Nana Akufo Addo was president. You think that as commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and somebody who knows what he has to do, even as an attorney general, all prosecutions will emanate from him, so to speak.
Has he prosecuted even a fly under his regime? Look at the troubles these people mess up in this country. Has Nana Addo found even favor to prosecute even one person? If I'm to count the crimes they have perpetrated against this country from 2017 to 2025, only God knows, I'll write a novel of it. And I'll write a novel and give it to my friend to review here, Zato. And he will review it and even add more. Because these people, if they were to pursue them one by one, we won't be where we are. That is the problem we are facing. And I'm saying that they should allow the law to work. Is it the first time?
That what?
That they are seeing this kind of issues, people being invited and people being detained and other things.
Dr. Komita, I don't understand.
Somebody whisper, the late E.T. Mensah. You remember the episode? The plan worked. They heard him whisper. They bundled him to a DNI and cells and put mosquitoes and added. They went and got mosquito. I don't know where they got them in the box and released them into his cells. E.T. Mensah, Solomon. You know how Solomon died?
The former deputy
finance minister. I said, these people, you don't want to hear them. You see, they should stop. Their hypocrisy is just becoming too much. They just left office just about 5 months ago. They are behaving as if they were in opposition for some 30 years. And they've never tasted governance before.
I don't understand.
And I'm saying
what has been in office, leaving 5 months, just about 6 months ago?
I am giving you there are scenarios that, look, this state security did not just come into being under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. They existed way before your bonnet time. They came and operated under the same security. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, do you know that he has not even recruited any new security people? We have not done any recruitment into police, army or anything. It's the same people. The party police people they recruited.
Are you making claims that this is the system working? The national security and the security apparatus?
It's the same system that they use for their 8 years. It's the same system that is operating. And they have no change. They are saying that, look, come and answer questions. You took monies from this state Exim Bank. In fact, it was John Dramani Mahama who formed that bank. It was under NDC. When we came, we formed that Exim Bank thing. These people came, they just started, they saw the money and they were just distributing the money like toffees to their party apparatchiks to misbehave. And Wontumi was just misbehaving with it and nobody could talk. Now, a new government has come, they've looked into the books and they've seen the issues therein and said, no, we need our money. Let's look for this man. And look, that's what I'm saying, a lot of things are going to come up. People didn't even know that it's not about the Akunta mining forest and that he was being picked up. There was another issue. A writ until his lawyer was talking about it. You see that those lawless boys were saying that the lawyer should not talk. Very lawless. You know, yesterday, the misbehavior they were doing yesterday.
You mean
yesterday, last night?
The precinct of...
I am telling you, these people... Okay, thank God we have His Excellency John Dramani as the president. He's a caring father. I mean, he respects all the people citizens of Ghana. He will do all manner of good to everybody in this country.
I don't understand. You're saying, this one, the president...
I am saying that...
Because the accusation is that they had to go to the house of Wontumi Rambo style with armed security.
Rambo is an old star. Rambo is an old star. There are no more movies which are more than that. These people were playing a movie style of the Traveler and then all these things. And they were arresting people using this method. Rambo, nobody uses Rambo now. That was the 80s. I am telling you what these people did to Ghanaians under Nana Akufo Addo. If His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is to do even a quarter of it, they will not be where they were. Do you know that they banned all Ghanaians from coming near the Flagstaff House? You were here. They are your neighbors. When they were, how many people stepped foot near that place to do demonstration? Who burned dog? That place was King Nebuchadnezzar Palace. They were just lucky that...
But that cannot be true.
It's true. They say it was a security zone. Do you know that they were preparing a process to stop a tractor and vehicle from plying the route again? Because Nana Akufo Addo was in their palace.
But don't you think that a presidential office and then house, which at the time was called the Jubilee House, should be a security area? It's
a security area.
Shouldn't it be?
Sir. When has our chief palace become security area? Is it not our chief palace? Where? In the villages. So I had to ask him, his chief palace. Have they declared that place as security zone? He should tell me. We know that, yes, it's a security, we should behave. But we cannot shut it off from people from visiting that place. These people, for the first 3 months in office, they went and demonstrated around that place. In the night. This group of people, they went and demonstrated at the security place that they were describing as security zone, and putting all cameras and putting ammo cars, jet fighters were flying around that place. Nobody could then move that place. But they had the audacity under John Dramani Mahama to go there and demonstrate in the night. This kind of indiscipline is becoming too much. Yesterday, somebody picked. Official don't pick him. State security picked for investigation, and then they started massing up the place. Going up to the place. To the extent some of them wanted to bend ties. And I was happy one policeman warned them and told them, you are becoming unbecoming.
Really?
Yes, yesterday I was watching the footages. And I was saying that policeman, if I had the power, I would have promoted him for what he did. Because the nuisance was just becoming unbecoming. These are a group of people who want to disturb the security of the state. And now they dealt with. They must be dealt with. We need peace. Ghanaians, we are Fama Nyamita, but that not to this level.
Fama Nyami?
Yes, are we not like that? You know the meaning of Fama Nyami? Oh, yeah, Fama Nyami. There's not the Fama Nyami that led us to where we are. Where they sunk almost $58 million into a hole, a big hole.
Not a computer. This is the General Secretary of the NPP.
Yes.
And that's Justin Kodua, the General Secretary.
Yes.
He says that, well, if indeed, in good faith, Yoko also wanted to invite him, they could have done so peacefully.
I am saying that the gentleman had a penchant of misbehaving and saying all this kind of thing. So if the Yoko decided to pick him up at that place, come, we need you. When the sermon was issued and all that, was it not lawful? I didn't say the sermon that was issued against for him, was it not lawful? Did you think the Yoko acted illegally? They should tell us which aspect of the laws that Yoko has violated. None. And I'm saying that this is not the first time. The man has been picked to come and answer charges and all that. If they found guilty, they will send him to law court and prosecute him. Is that not it? These are the issues they are talking of. And, Massa, nobody has asked that the man is going to be vilified. They are bringing politics into it. So these days, any crook who has misbehaved against the state should just go and hide behind political colours and start misbehaving. Is that what we are going? That is why we are reaching. We are going to abyss. Where everybody who think that he's a damn crook will just run behind some blue and white colours NPP people and decide to be misbehaving. Please let the law work. Let me borrow word from the former learned Chief Justice, suspended one. The law is the law. It has not changed. The law is the law. It has not changed. Nothing has changed. So I have to tell your people, they should stop misbehaving. They are becoming, too much.
You get this from here. It says that the modus operandi of the security apparatus and those who are supposed to make sure that prosecution is undertaken hasn't changed. Same.
I'm really happy about today, and I'm happy listening to Dr. Computer going on his parade of vengeance, pure vengeance and vendetta.
How do you come to that conclusion?
The elders in my language, in my village, say something. I'm going to say it
in
slowly.
East?
Yes, I'm going to say it slowly in Sisali. Then I'll translate it.
I would want to run that also.
Namo baganen jadasan. Manana dawiya kedinin. Machana piasa beleve nga dasla.
What has that got to do with the discussion this
morning?
Go
to the forest to fetch firewood, and there you see the stones burning. You don't stand back to have, what happened to the firewood? If you see Chairman Wontumi, who is not a political appointee, who is a chairman of a political party, who had his businesses before he became a chairman of the party, being hauled and being treated like this, then you should realize that the full vim of the state and the coercive powers of the states have been unleashed to rain terror on political opponents. And I'm happy I just heard the gentleman speak that, look, yes, you did this to us yesterday. That this happened yesterday to NDC appointees.
Well, he said it.
Exactly. And so that is...
He didn't even cite Francis Xavier. You know, Francis Xavier did...
Thank you.
He was doing his work as an MP.
In fact, he didn't even cite the current Attorney General. He didn't cite the current Minister of Energy. He didn't cite the...
So you agree with that things happened?
Stuff happened. Stuff happened then.
Okay.
But what he's now telling us that what is happening is what they call equivalency. You do me, I do you, as for tit for tit.
I don't understand.
That's what he's saying.
What does you do me and I do you got to do with this?
He said that you did this to NDC members when you were in power. Today, we are also going to do with you. It's simple. That's the argument he made.
You do me, I do you?
Yeah, you do me, I do you. That's what he's saying. And that is okay. Then the question I ask is, where is the research you promised?
I don't understand.
Where is the research the NDC promised? You told us when all these things,
the CD is at what's the CD now?
Should we talk about the CD now? I was talking about.
Okay. I want to enjoy.
No, I just want to carry on from the logic. The logic he said. His logic is this: that look, you did a lot of bad things against NDC people when they were in opposition. For 8 years, you did a lot of bad things for us. That's what he's saying. Because of that, during the election, the biggest operational way there was what? Reset. We need to change that. We need to improve the governance. The governance here means not only the central administration, not only the bureaucracy, but also the justice delivery system and how the intelligence security system work. Your argument is that the NPP used this same coercive force of the state, this buga power of the state, to harass NDC members. That's your argument. And that was how the president made this, he came to the middle and said, have to come with a reset agenda. Ghanaians bought that agenda. Then the question asks us, where is the reset you promised? Why aren't you doing things better than the NPP? Why are you in a desperate attempt to replicate the bad things the NPP did?
I don't understand. You mean if those things were bad?
If he's like, again, I'm continuing from the logic he brought. You listen. That's his argument. If your argument is that these things were bad, that people's human rights were violated, that people were tortured, that the coercive force of the state was used to intimidate and harass political opponents, let's say we agree with you. As a country, shouldn't we be striving to be better? As a country, shouldn't we be starting? Look, the person I am afraid for or scared for is him, not me. I'm not a political. I've never been appointed.
But you want to be an MP for Sadais, or you're not more interested?
I'm saying I'm not an MP. He is in government. Tomorrow. If there's a change of government, nobody will come in for me because I've never got. He is the one they will be coming for. That's why I give the problem that when stones are burning, if Wontumi is today being harassed, intimidated, and this, imagine this in vengeance is continued. Do you know what will happen to you tomorrow if you lose power? So it's just people like you, people who are in government now, who should say, look, bad things happen to us, but good men and women should rise up and say that yes, we shouldn't be using vengeance. We shouldn't be using it. Let's be better.
I don't understand. You mean if a rate is issued that we have
that's what I'm saying.
Individuals
the guy,
who are from national security
feeding off from his logic
and go to the house of Wontumi, you are saying that that's vengeance?
Roland, I'm feeding off from this man's logic. I'm happy he started.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
No, can I finish?
Dr. Zato, no, don't finish, please. Dr. Zato, you mentioned resets. The specific question I would want to pose to you, if you are interpreting resets in the arrests or summoning of Wontumi by Yoko following a raid that has been issued by Exim Bank, how should that be done in a reset way, in your perspective?
But first of all, I haven't done that. I'm simply saying that.
Please, let me apprise you of the question I'm asking, then I'll ask again. You mentioned resets, and that following from his argument, during the campaign and also the strategy and policy that has been sold to the Ghanaian people is that the Ghanaian society is being put on a reset button by the current government. And I'm asking you a specific question. In your interpretation of that reset, how do you think that the arrests following the writs and then also Yoko eliciting answers from Chairman Wontumi, how should that reset arrest be done?
I don't know how it should be done. But I'm happy that today government appointees are being called to account for this, and even non-government appointees are being called. What I am cautioning against, or what I'm trying to say, is that it seems as if we are on a very slippery road of pure vengeance. It seems we are simply trying to justify any and everything that's happening on the basis that it happened yesterday, so don't talk. It is a similar argument that has taken us to this Chief Justice removal quagmire that we are in now. It is this same moment that says that because you fired Charlotte Osei, then we must also fire the Chief Justice. But something happened to me yesterday that made me a proud Ghanaian. That made me very happy this morning. It is because I read and I heard that the majority leader in Parliament has what we call a moral, ethical, or judicial epiphany. That the majority leader has had what is called a moral epiphany. I will try to define a moral epiphany here.
Please end for me. You are not answering the question.
So
you are going to Parliament. We'll discuss that as a second topic.
I just
Solomon is waiting.
No, he's going. I'm coming.
No, so ask a specific question.
I've answered. That's my wrong. You can mark me wrong.
Thank you very much.
So moral epiphany, to say that all of a sudden the NDC has woken up to realize that it is very easy to remove a Chief Justice.
You're waiting for winning and someone about better. Yapuno so Mikao says so when you subscribe to channel media, but Modia say over subscribe. Now while I give you wrong, give us a thumbs up, now fee share my work for Frosona. When you be here now and some do an array so ewa Ghana memoram. Also bet me actually wondering a fire some way in our home ewa comment box in Mobeti interview in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.